Hello, I'm David Broadbent. For most parents, the idea of kicking a child out of home the day they turn 18 with no plans, no financial support and no future contact is simply appalling. But like most Australians, I had no idea this actually happens to hundreds of young people effectively evicted from foster care or institutional care the day they turn 18 when all government support ceases. And this happens regardless of their ability or disability, whether they've got a job or even whether they're still in school. But now, Anglicare's Home Stretch campaign is calling on all state governments to give these young people the option of staying in care until they're 21. The social and economic benefits are beyond doubt, and now the campaign has been endorsed by a world leader in child welfare services. Public support for the Home Stretch campaign to extend foster and residential care from 18 to 21 is growing rapidly, and now the campaign has won international support with the endorsement of the University of Chicago's Professor Mark Courtney. A world leader in child welfare services, Professor Courtney says that by ending foster care support at 18, Australia now lags behind major Western nations. Addressing an Anglicare forum in Melbourne, Professor Courtney said turning vulnerable 18-year-olds out on their own violates the basic concepts of parental care and child welfare.
That's not what responsible adults do. I mean, I call it cruel and unusual punishment. They were in care because adults treated them poorly. We said, we're going to save you, we're going to protect you from harm, and we care for you, but then at 18, oh, by the way, the deal's over. We're going to treat you the way no responsible parent would.
The United States, Britain, Canada and New Zealand have all extended care to 21. And the economic and social benefits are now too clear for state governments to ignore.
The young people, when they're allowed to remain in care, are about twice as likely to continue their education. The young women are less likely to become pregnant at an early age. The young people are less likely to be involved in the criminal justice system. They're much less likely to be homeless. And by my calculation, every additional year of care that young people get when they're offered that opportunity is associated with about a 17% increase in earnings in their late 20s. I don't know about you, but most people I know would like a 17% raise.
Across Australia, 35% are homeless in the first year out of care. 46% of boys are involved in the juvenile justice system. 41 to 65% had poor mental health outcomes, and 41% were pregnant during adolescence.
It's a cycle. It goes, you're in care, you leave care, you're homeless, you're a junkie, or you're dead. Moving out at 18, you're still a child. I'm 18, I'm a bloody child. Like my worker is in her 30s or something and she's still at home.
Once you turn 18, it's literally just a cut off and you're on your own. They've really weighed down on my mental health. I didn't have a job, I was unprepared, I didn't know what to do with my life.
I think it is system child abuse. I mean, it's brutal. Here you're receiving all this care from all the service system and having a caseworker support and having significant adults looking after you, and it's ripped from under you at 18. That's it. That's brutal.
A Deloitte Access report found extending care would return up to $2.69 on every dollar spent, reduce arrests by 36%, slash homelessness 48%, cut hospitalisation 34%, reduce alcohol and drug dependence 84%, and double the chances of continuing education.
It is really unfair because adulthood doesn't just start because you legally turn 18.
There's nothing after 18, like it's a black abyss and you just paralyse yourself with fear and anguish because you're sitting there like, well, who's going to look after me?
They've left us as the carers in the position where we either have to kick them to the street and allow them to fend for themselves, or take on that responsibility all on our own.
And my worker told me that my best bet was going to be looking for a homeless shelter. And without the support there, you're just going to crash and burn.
The campaign for continued care is just phenomenal. It really is. We have a special needs child, and the idea that she would have to fend for herself is just preposterous.
We want to finish the job we, governments and ourselves as care providers, started by caring for these children.